Hey everyone, how's it going? Johnny, Grow Strength NX, one half of Grow Strength NX, as you know by now. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm a personal trainer and strength coach, and Luke, who usually is on the channel but quarantine has got us locked down, is a professional trainer as well. So one thing I really wanted to go over today is mental psychology and how to overcome weakness. And how I'm going to portray that to you is by talking about a story about myself, of how I overcame and how you guys can overcome as well. So as you know, being a strength coach, as someone who lifts heavy weights and bodybuilds and so on and so forth, I don't have any weights at home. I never thought anything like this would ever happen in our lifetime. So I've been sidelined to doing at-home workouts and going for walks. And then just before the quarantine lockdown, I bought a bike. And I was like, okay, I'll give bike riding a go. And for any of you that know me, I don't do cardio. So when I say do cardio, I do like HIIT training and stuff like that. And I do weights really, really fast. But I used to joke around, you know, being a strength coach to all my clients and my friends and family and so on, that anything over 5 reps on a deadlift is considered cardio. So I was known for that guy, you know, the guy that doesn't really do a load of it. I can play sports, I can do bits and bobs, but it's not my strength. And deep down, I didn't want to be seen as weak because I knew it wasn't a strength, so I didn't really pursue it. It wasn't A, a main goal, and B, I didn't really pursue it, but I had no other choice, you know. What else can I do? Cycling's good for my legs, maybe it will help me with squats. So I get back on my bike. And I would say, I don't know how long I did, but it was probably anywhere between 6 to 10 miles on my first go, which to some people may seem like a lot, but you know, it felt like a lot. My legs were killing me. I was out of breath on like even the slightest of inclines, and never mind doing hills. Oh my God. It was horrendous. And then I realised something. My fears were realised. I was as bad as I thought. And I know I joked around about it, but I'd never thought that I'd have to go through anything like it. I always thought I could show my strengths and hide my weaknesses. And I kind of didn't want to be exposed as a fraud in a way, because as a personal trainer and a strength coach and a conditioning coach as well, sometimes you do negate certain areas of your training, you do negate certain areas of your life, things that are actually quite important. And I was worried because I was like, holy crap, I can't do this. So, you know, I had a couple of rest days and I was like, no, let's try it again. Anyway, did it again. Guess what? It didn't get any easier. Oh, it's just as bad as the first time. And now I'm at the point of quitting. I'm like, you know what? Just stick to bodyweight training. You don't like it that much. But, you know, I just didn't take to it. It wasn't happening for me. I felt inadequate. My worst fears were realised. And maybe it was just a case of, you know what? Let's just get back on. Try it one more time. Just one more time. And surprisingly enough, it was actually quite a lot easier. And I think I managed about 20 miles. I want to say between like 15 and 20 miles. And my legs weren't quite as tired. I still ached like hell. And my quads were knackered. The hill climbs were getting slightly easier. And then something miraculous happened. The next go, went up all the gradients, all the hills. I wasn't anywhere near as out of breath. I could go a lot longer distances. Now I managed 34 miles. I'm like, whoa. This is insane. I'm not going to lie. I've not had the feeling of accomplishment like this for a very, very long time. And then recently, just recently, I hit a 50.4 mile milestone. That is an accomplishment. If you asked me a month ago if I could do something like that, I would have laughed in your face and told you to F off, because that's the kind of person that I was. And what's the kind of the whole point of this story? Well, I believe that we all fear failure. We all fear, our worst fears come to realization after the first couple of weeks of doing something new, or going back to an old form of training, or just trying to get back into it in general, into fitness in general, or any part of your psychological lifestyle, back to work or anything like that. It's really, really daunting. And it's much easier to stay in your comfort zone and not do it. It's much easier to just quit after the first couple of weeks, especially because of the social media influencers nowadays. They only show the success stories. They only show the afters. They don't show the hardship and the continuous struggle it does in order to get to make it look easy, in order to get to make it look concrete, in order to not show their weaknesses. They want to be seen as this polished, pristine, perfect person, which in reality it's not. And fuck that. Let's make hardship, let's make the real stuff, let's put real fitness into the limelight, and let's show people that it is actually hard to do, but it does get easier. So after 2 weeks of not doing well at something, or 3 weeks, and you now want to go back to your comfort zone because the real hardship is coming in, that's when you expose yourself to it even more. That's when you put yourself out there even more. Because the more you expose yourself to something, the less fear you have. Because now you've got nothing to lose. You've done it a few times. You might have been even ridiculed for it. But if you just keep at it, there's nothing but respect from people, or from other people. They'll, after a while, they'll have to respect you, even if you're not that good at it, because you're still trying. And over time, you will improve. Some people will improve quicker. Some people don't improve as much. But over time, you start to learn a routine. You start to learn discipline. You start to understand that it's not just about getting up one day and feeling motivated, which is great. You know, you watch your Rockies, you listen to that music that pumps you up. Anything to get you on that bike or get you on that form of training. But after that, it's all about discipline. It's about sacrificing a certain amount of what you've been doing that keeps you in your comfort zone, like overeating, or maybe not sleeping as much, or drinking too much. You have to sacrifice something in order to become a little bit better, in order to overcome your weaknesses and your fears. And routine and discipline is the key in order to make sure that you stay on track and start proceeding to win. That is how true success is measured. And if you want to see something like a true advanced version of that, there is a show on Netflix called The Last Dance. Booze game. Booze game. So Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, we've got Charles Barkley, all the classics, all the best basketball players. And if those of you who watch basketball in the 90s, you will know these guys were relentless. They pursued, they were hard workers, they were dedicated, and they were so involved and ingrained within any slight advantage they could get over their rivals, over anyone they played. They were the type of people that would do anything in order to succeed. And I'm not saying you need to be at that professional high level, but in order to be that disciplined, you have to give up certain aspects of your lifestyle, especially the negative ones, especially the ones that are making you feel comfortable, but not necessarily making you better. And to be honest, those things are holding you back. Fear was holding you back. But in order to succeed, in order to overcome, you have to do that thing continuously, routinely, with discipline. And you also have to put that dedication and time into accept that you're not going to be the best. Not even for a while, maybe never. But you will always strive to want to be the best. You will always strive to enjoy your training. You'll always strive to be more. This is what true training is. It doesn't matter what sport you're involved in. It doesn't matter, because how you want to succeed is just by reinforcing the action. And then over time, as you get more disciplined, you can start to understand the true principles of fundamental training, the true principles of diet, the true principles of lifestyle and coaching and psychology, which is one of the biggest factors. Most of my clients and most people that I know that have asked me for advice about getting stronger haven't actually failed because they don't have the strength, but they don't believe in themselves enough. They don't believe that they can do more. They don't believe that I know what they can do. I know exactly what they can do. I know their strengths. You know, we've worked on the psychological cues. We've worked on the physical cues of order to not only just do form basis, but we're going to go over like speed training, conditioning training, certain weaknesses that we can develop and build upon with a proper program. And the thing is, they are strong enough physically. Mentally, they weren't there because maybe they didn't believe in themselves for quite some time. The fear had caught up with them. Their fear of being ridiculed by other people, the fear of not being able to succeed at something right away. Well, I'll tell you something, if you keep at it, if you keep doing it, if you keep succession, you will get the success. You will be stronger mentally. And that's the biggest area of training. If you're mentally there, your physicality always comes in. After you've done something for so long, your body takes over. It's like a flow state. As long as you believe in yourself, you will succeed in anything you do. And I think now, more of a time than any, we need to focus on believing in ourselves and letting the fear go away. Remember one thing though, fear never really truly goes away. It's just that you expose yourself enough to it. You keep doing it until that fear becomes so little. It's like it starts off as a big monster and it gets tiny and it ends up like this little tiny thing. And it's always there, but you know what? It's handleable, it's controllable, and you even laugh at it now. And for me, you know, doing that 50-mile bike ride, it was probably one of the biggest accomplishments of my life. And I've done some, you know, some crazy shit in my time, you know, from any sport to powerlifting to, you know, to anything. And for some reason, that one truly hit home. It brought me back to an old me that I've not had for a while, because I got so ingrained within what I could do well, I stopped focusing on my weaknesses. So how to overcome your weakness, how to be stronger and be better psychologically and physically, is to expose yourself to your weaknesses. So I'm gonna leave you there with that video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And to be honest, I know I've got a few new subscribers recently, and I do have we have a fairly small channel, but I want to let you guys know that, you know, I really appreciate all of you that come in routinely each week, and I want to, you know, give a thumbs up to you. You know, I want to subscribe to you guys. You know, I'm happy that we've got a small but dedicated following who understand what we're trying to achieve here. We understand that fitness is more than just, you know, lifting heavy weights or looking good. It's about so much more. It builds true character. It builds true definition of character, and it helps develop you as a person physically and mentally. So give yourselves a thumbs up. And of course, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And I suggest to subscribe and share this video to anyone that is struggling. And going over kind of the idea that not one form of training is the best, I've got, apart from Muay Thai Fridays or martial arts Fridays, I'm going to introduce a yoga session. And I'm terrible at yoga. It's not something I've taken to too well, but yoga, if you probably watched one of the previous videos, is actually a very important and very prevalent part of anyone's training, regardless of what style of workouts you're doing. So I would recommend this Wednesday, we're going to put a yoga video out. My partner is a yoga teacher, yoga professional, and she'll be taking over. I'll just be way off in the background somewhere. So make sure you tune in for Wednesday's video, and we'll get that going. So for those of you who want to get, you know, just more flexible but more psychologically and mentally strong, that is the video I recommend for you. And then I'll see you properly on the Friday. Share everyone. Take care.